What is going on, guys? You got Tone here. I'm bringing you the NES Season 1 semifinals this week. We are up against Super Nerd 92, coach of the Seattle Wingulls, and he has done exceptionally well for himself, especially taking over this team mid-season. Had some hiccups early on, but has really come into his own as one of the underrated coaches in the entire league, especially coming off a week where he came and he beat number 2 seed in the Swindon Fletchings prior to our match. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't want to face him simply because his team had a great matchup against mine because of all the threats he had on his team that I had to take into account, like the Gengar, the Tornadus. I don't really have a legitimate flying resist. And he had some stuff in the back that he didn't bring, like the Landorus and the Electros, which was also a bit of a problem. But so the team he brings here, he has a team of Mega Scizor, Gengar, Goodra, Swampert, Tornadus, and Florges. I pretty much expected this entire team to come. The main thing was either Swampert or Landorus. I can understand him not bringing Lando T simply because ice coverage on my Kyurem, ice coverage on the Manaphy. I could be like a Scarf Needle Queen with Ice Beam. The list goes on and on. So I can totally understand that. And the one Pokemon I definitely knew he was bringing no matter what was that Gengar, because my Ghost Resist is my Blissey, which then becomes setup fodder for the rest of his Pokemon, and I couldn't risk that. So that's the reason why I didn't bring Blissey, and I have Gourgeist here instead. So I'll get to that, my sets, in a minute. Just to run down my team real quick. First off, we have Kyurem Black, with Expert Belt, Dragon Claw, Iron Head, Ice Beam, and the Hidden Power Fire. Expert Belt lets me bluff a potential Choice Scarf set, so I can potentially bait in the Scizor, bait in the Goodra, depending on my move he sees first. It's mostly specially attack. It's a mixed, but mostly special attacking Kyurem Black, with just a little bit of attack EVs to ensure that Dragon Claw one hit KOs a max HP 0 defense Goodra with Dragon Claw, while at the same time Iron Head 2 hit KOs a fully physically defensive Florges, Ice Beam for the Tornadus, the Landorus, and HP Fire for the Mega Scizor, with enough speed to outspeed a Jolly, max speed Landorus. That's not Choice Scarf. Next up, we have Mega Gardevoir with Substitute, Side Shock, Hyper Voice, and HP Fire for the Mega Scizor. Again, enough speed for Lando T. This pretty much lets me wear down most of his threats. His Psychic Resist is the Mega Scizor. If I can predict it correctly, I can HP Fire on the switch. But he also has the safe switch into his Asulfas Goodra, which is also a problem that I have to take into account. Third Pokemon, my Manaphy, Tailglow, Knockoff, Scald, and Ice Beam. I initially had Energy Ball over Knockoff, but I didn't want to bring irrelevant coverage because Energy Ball only hits the Swampert, and bringing in coverage for one Pokemon would be kind of irrelevant, as I can just fish for a Scald Burn on the Swampert on pretty much everything on his team pretty freely. Max HP, again, enough speed for Lando T, rest and special attack. Fourth, we have my Nidoqueen, and for the first time I am bringing Toxic Spikes to go along with Sludge Wave, Ice Beam, and Flamethrower for that Mega Scizor. Didn't really need Earth Power that much because his only Pokemon on his team that's weak to ground is literally nothing on his team's weak to ground, to be perfectly honest, as he has the Electros that can has Levitate, so it bypasses my Earth Power, so it'd be pretty pointless to bring Earth Power in this situation. And I felt as though Ice Beam plus Flamethrower did enough to his team as it is. Sludge Wave for the Florges, Ice Beam for the Tornadus, Flamethrower for the Mega Scizor. We're running a bulky spread here, just some speed to outspeed uninvested Goodra. So max HP, rest and special attack with a modest nature. 5th we have the Gourgeist here, which is my main switch into Swampert. And it can check the Mega Scizor as well, and the Lando T if he brought it. Sub-Wisp with Seed Bomb and Phantom Force. Phantom Force with Substitute and Will-O-Wisp, I can wear down. I can get Leftovers Recovery, potential burn damage, or toxic damage from the Toxic Spikes. Not running Senses can be a hindrance, but I feel as though it can still work out for me. Enough speed again for this Lando, because I felt as though it was a big enough threat to the point where, since I didn't really bring, this Gourgeist is my Swampert switch in, my Lando T switch in, and I didn't want any of my other Pokemon to have to deal with Lando T. At the same time, Lando T can just U-turn out, so I had to keep that in mind, but he didn't bring it, so I had to adjust my plans. And lastly, we have this support Cobalion here, Stealth Rock, Iron Head, Stone Edge, and Volt Switch. Stone Edge for the Tornadus. Iron Head with my investment ensures that Florges to it KO'd, and Volt Switch for momentum if I get rid of the Swampert. Running a mostly speedy set. I think it's enough for, I'm pretty sure against Lando T, but I'm not entirely sure, but some attack investment to ensure Iron Head to it KO's Florges, and the rest is in HP so I can take some hits. So looking at the team I brought and the team he brought, I don't have a Ghost Resist. Gengar is a huge issue, and basically my way of dealing with Gengar is to hope and pray one of my Pokemon to take a hit and I can retaliate with a strong attack. So I'm just gonna, so my assumption is he's gonna lead off with his Swampert because I didn't bring hazard removal, and to counteract that I'm gonna lead off with my Gourgeist, but he sees that I have no Ghost Resist, so he leads off directly with his Gengar. So I lead off with my Gourgeist. I frisk him and find out he's Choice Scarf Gengar. It's a little bit easier to deal with since he's Scarf over like Life Orb, but at the same time, he gets to click Shadow Ball whenever he wants. Now, before I even brought this Gourgeist set, before this I had Blissey, and before that I went back to Gourgeist, and I actually had Choice Band Shadow Sneak. If I kept that, I had a chance to knock off the Gengar, which I kind of regret not bringing now because he doesn't have a Ghost Resist himself. Nevertheless, I don't have a switch into this Shadow Ball, so I either have one of two options. Either I let my Gourgeist go down and I lose my main way of dealing with Swampert, or I switch out and go into something else that can take at least 2 Shadow Balls, and I can retaliate with a strong attack. So I decided to go with the former here and let my Gourgeist go down to the Shadow Ball, which was unfortunate. So it does give me a free switch into my Manaphy. I'm going to Tail Glow here as he goes out into his Florges here, and I get a free Tail Glow, so I'm at +3. Go for a Skull with a gauge of damage. He doesn't take much as he reveals Giga Drain, which was a great move, which is a great bring on his part here. So seeing Giga Drain, I knew that the Florges had to have some sort of coverage move for my my Manaphy. Whether or not it would be Energy Ball or Giga Drain was the main question. Seeing as though he wrote Giga Drain, this was his direct response to my Manaphy. And seeing that, I kind of want to keep my Manaphy around because I can at least, if I can beat the Florges, I can wear down the Goodra with knockoff, stuff like that. So I decided to go on to my Nidoqueen here on the Giga Drain, and I take the opportunity to get my Toxic Spikes up. As he goes out into his Swampert here, I get free Toxic Spikes. I go for Ice Beam here for damage as he gets his Stealth Rocks up. Recovers over the leftovers, so I'm just trying to wear this thing down with Ice Beam. Go for Earthquake. I have Shuckleberry, so I can take 1 Earthquake from the Swampert. Go for 1 more Ice Beam, but I'm forced to sack off my Nidoqueen here, as I want to free switch into my Kyurem at this point in time, just to retaliate with an Ice Beam. So with that, I go for my Ice Beam, take out the Swampert. So, and here he goes out into his Scizor, which I was hoping for from the beginning, because now he's assuming I'm Choice Scarf, which is great. So the other thing I have to keep in mind is the fact that a Bullet Punch can potentially knock me out. after the stealth rock damage. So I'm basically banking on my Kyurem living a bullet punch, and if I do, Hidden Power Fire takes out this Mega Scizor. That's all I have to. That's all I ask for. So he goes for the Mega Evolves, go for a bullet punch, live on 6%. That's all I need from my Kyurem Black. I can take out the Mega Scizor with HP Fire. However, it gives him a free switch into the Gengar, and I have to cycle my Kyurem to a Shadow Ball. So from here, I decided to go out into my Cobalion and just click Iron Head. As it goes out into the Goodra here, gets poisoned from Toxic Spikes, get my Iron Head off, does decent amount of damage here, and I am wearing out this Goodra for my Manaphy. Go for Iron Head one more time, and I get the Iron Head flinch, which sucks for my opponent. So I finish off the Goodra here with the Iron Head here, which is great, but it does give him a switch into his Gengar. So to go for Shadow Ball here, I did a calc before this, and it does about 50, a Shadow Ball does about roughly 50% to my Cobalion. So if I don't get critted or any high rolls, I can take at least 2. And I can 2-hit KO with Iron Head here. So I decided to stay in and go for the Iron Head here, as I lose about half my health. But I can 2-hit KO this Gengar. Thanks to leftover recovery, I do live on 7% as I take out the Gengar with the Iron Head, which is great for me. But it does give him a free switch into Tornadus, and he just finishes off my Cobalion with a Psychic. And it reveals he's Life Orb Tornadus, so I go on to my Manaphy. So my plan with the plan from here, as it's now 2v2, is I have to bank on basically 2 things happening. I have to hope he misses a Hurricane, because I pretty much expected him to have either Hurricane or Air Slash for one of those 2 moves, because Psychic won't take me out. So I actually have to hope for a Hurricane miss. I kill the Tornadus with Ice Beam, and then Florges comes out. I wear it down with Scald. I kind of wish I had Toxic now for knockoff, but I have to wear down the Florges enough to the point where my Gardevoir then comes in, and I can hopefully 2-hit KO with Psyshock. So that was my game plan, and I was basically hoping for a Hurricane miss here. Unfortunately, I don't get that, and my Manaphy goes down to Hurricane. So I'm down to my Gardevoir here. I have no choice but to just go for a Hyper Voice here. I get my Mega off, he reveals Sludge Wave, I live on 16%, takes Life Orb damage, and I go for a Hyper Voice, take out the Tornadus, but it's already done. So it's just down to my Gardevoir versus a full HP Florges here. The only chance I have of winning this battle is if I have to go for Psyshock here, and I have to get a crit. It's the only way I can win this battle. If I don't get a crit, I lose, and the season's over for us. And it kind of sucks to the point where I'm banking on a crit to happen, like basic 1 out of 16 chance here. So, and pretty much the match is already lost either way. So I had nothing to lose. It doesn't matter really in the end, because I didn't really prep that much. I let the Gengar have its way against me, so I kind of deserve to take the loss here. So with that being said, I'm just going to click Psyshock. I have nothing else to lose here. And I actually got the crit and won, which was unbelievable. Like, I was in absolute shock when this happened after the match was over, because I literally did the calc before that match, and before I made that play, and Psyshock only did like about 50 to 60% to this Florges, so that crit definitely came into play, and it sucks it happened at that point in time, especially in a match where the winner goes to the finals, and it just so happened to be me. So with that being said, we are in the NES finals. Due to some unfortunate hacks at the end, my opponent played a lot better than I did. The Toxic Spikes did help somewhat. It did wear on the Goodra. I did get the Iron Head flinch too on top of that, but I have to keep him. I can't let these mistakes like come back to bite me. I can't team build and then forget about certain Pokemon. Like, I didn't prep for the gang. I didn't do enough to prevent the Gengar from just clicking Shadow Ball. So I'm gonna fix that come the finals. My team building will definitely be more coercive. It'll be a lot more intuitive on my opponent's team, and I'm going to want to make sure that I don't let something like this happen again. So, to say that I deserve this win is an understatement because I obviously didn't. I got lucky at the end. But luck is part of the game of Pokemon. This is the game we play. This is how league battles unfortunately do happen, with the untimely factor of hacks happening or the untimely crit. So I can't really like say any more of that because I don't really want to get blamed for something that's beyond my control. So still, it was a great game of Super Nerd. He's a great battler, great team builder. Helps me out sometimes in my own team building. So he definitely deserved the win. I'm just gonna put it like that. So if you guys did enjoy this battle, feel free to hit that like button. Feel free to leave some comments if you if you enjoyed. Feel free to hit that subscribe button if you're new, because we're going to the NES Finals, and we're going to be playing the Aston Charizard, the team that we lost to the last time we battled them, and hoping that this time around it's going to be a bit of redemption here, as we're looking for that first title, and here we are with one more battle to go, and we're one win away from that championship. So I'm ecstatic. I hope you guys are as well. I'm just going to leave it at that. So until the next time for the NES Finals, my name is Anthony, aka Tone, and I'm going to catch you guys on the flip side. Later.